If you don't get a submission, boom, you're both out. So it's, I talk about submission only tournaments all the goddamn time on this podcast, so I don't want to fry your brain with it. But what I want to get into now is how did you get into chemtrails?
Well, like after doing a lot, basically entertainment stories for my entire career. I love entertainment, I love music, love arts and all that stuff, as I was talking to before about like things like music and stuff. But man, my part of my heart is doing something serious, and I definitely got into like some political coverage, but even that is like, I kind of relate to like you and Joe Rogan and people who kind of see that, the whole left, right, Democrat, Republican thing is really just a ruse. It's beyond that. It's about like the people on top of the pyramid and the Bilderbergs and things like that, people that control.
What? So you got into Alex Jones at first?
Alex Jones is a little bit, but he has like a Republican white guy from Texas undertone to a lot of things he does. Like so that plays that he hates Obama a little more than he hates, but like I'm beyond the whole fucking system. But I discovered chemtrails because that was like, I'm into like looking into conspiracies because there's always something to almost everything. But chemtrails was when I first read about them, I thought, nah, that's bullshit, man. It's whatever. It's what you see in the planes. But then I started about 3 years ago. I started noticing that, man, some of these things just stay in
Where
the
did you
sky.
hear about them first? Do you remember?
On the internet, just the internet, but then I started comparing the first part that I started trying. And this is the thing about chemtrails is like it's the one thing people like regular people that are not into any conspiracy theories are starting to recognize. Whole like skeptics are like, this is happening before our eyes. Where I first noticed is I started comparing to the skies, because when I was a kid, I would remember that when I would see a plane that had a little contrail behind it, it would catch my attention. I was like, oh, cool, it looks like a little comet in the fucking sky, But they never stayed in the sky like they do now. Never. And I remember because I would always, as a kid, it was something that I'd noticed a lot. The fucking, whenever a plane looked like a little comet and had a little fucking trail. But it never elongated and stayed in the horizon and dispersed into some milky white thing. Like I said, what did I tell you in the beginning of the thing? I wanted to be an astronomer when I was a kid. I'm always looking at the sky. I'm always fucking looking up at the sky, whether it's daytime or nighttime. I fucking sun gaze, I'm always stoned looking upstairs, In Miami, you always have a lot of weather in the sky, a lot of different clouds. So I'm always cognizant of what's going on in the sky. When I came here, though, around 2009, started, noticing it was just obvious. Because a regular contrail evaporates, these stay in the sky, they spread out. Then you see this fucking same plane going back and forth, forming these fucking X's, and then all of a sudden a bright, cloudless sky turns into a milky, overcast, weird fucking cloud cover. And then if they do it for 3 days straight, then all of a sudden we have fucking some rain. And then you start researching, and look, I know that there's the Alex Jones sect that wants to go to the extreme and wants to say it's mind control or depopulation. It's not. Maybe it's that. But let's not be that sinister. So I started doing my research, and I started a page called, go to facebook.com/chemtrails awareness. We have 23 to 24,000. I say almost 24 because people from all over the world. 24,000 followers. They're sending me pictures from all over the world. All over the world has different kinds of weather, but in every European, every NATO country at least, and now a lot of Latin American countries, they're looking up at the sky and they're seeing these grid lines. These grid lines that somehow seem to be fucking constant throughout the fucking world. Now you start doing your research and there's things out in the open. Al Gore was on Ellen DeGeneres a few months ago, just like 3 or 4 months ago, and he fucking said, Ellen DeGeneres, a lot of people are fucking noticing, Ellen DeGeneres on a daytime talk show, just like I tried to do on Latin Nation, kind of slip it in. It's not really the kind of show to be doing on, but you slip it in. And she goes, so I heard there's a rumor that scientists want to put stuff in the atmosphere to like block out the sun to mitigate global warming. Is that true? And he goes, well, scientists are proposing to mitigate global warming by pumping barium and aluminum and sulfates into the atmosphere to dim the sun. Now, when the former vice president of the United States gets on a daytime talk show, probably the most popular daytime talk show going to middle America in the fucking country, and fucking says that scientists are proposing to do something, that means that they're already doing it. And that's part of what's going on there. They're already fucking calling it geoengineering, and they're coming out with articles in The Economist, and I mean, there's all of the other things called weather derivatives. I'm sure the lady that you had, what was her name?
Kristen Megan.
She and the military, and it's not. Is it the government? Is it private corporations? It's both at the highest levels. This is a private-public partnership at the highest levels. They're fucking spraying. There's a couple of different reasons. One of them is they're spraying aluminum and sulfates to block out the sun a little bit to fucking mitigate global warming because we have so much carbon that we can't suck out the carbon. They have actually technology that can do that, but that's not as profitable. They'd rather just pump all this other shit, block out the sun and we're actually getting 1% less sun than like 5 years ago. And that's why it's not even as hot as it should be right now, okay? They're calling it global dimming and everything. So that's one of the things. Now, a lot of that aluminum is raining down on the fucking ground. Monsanto just fucking passed the Monsanto Act, which allows for genetically modified foods. One of their main patents are fucking seeds for all their fucking shit that all the farmers have to buy now that is resistant to aluminum, barium sulfates, the shit they're fucking spraying and raining down on us. Okay, and the reason they're doing it is because they're fucking weighing their options. Scientists on that are slaves to these big corporations and the fucking whoever the fuck runs the world. You know who we're talking about. I hear my friends say, "Who's they? Who's fucking they?" Fuck you, who's they? You brother, do your fucking research, man. The fucking banks, the oil companies, the people that run all the fucking capitalist fucking systems in the world, and now have their fucking legs and hands in fucking Asia. The fucking Rothschild. I mean, who do you think they, bro? Bro, watch Eisenhower and his fucking last speech before he fucking left presidency, warning against the military-industrial complex. Watch the speech of Kennedy talking about secret societies that ran the world in 1961 before he got assassinated 2 years later. Like fucking, that's they. So they run both the governments and the private corporations. This is where people like me and like Alex Jones kind of agree. And what they're doing is they're making a decision for us. They know global warming and climate change is real. So what they're doing is they're putting a band-aid on the situation. They're actually thinking they're doing a fucking good thing. And then they're coming up with these genetically modified seeds to fucking be able to feed us despite all the fucking crap that's raining down on us. The other thing that is blatantly real, like we don't have to disprove this shit. It's called cloud seeding. It's been around for fucking 70, 80 years. China, it's basically where you pump silver iodide into the clouds. They make more clouds and they rain. Now, this has been around for decades. China bragged about it during the Beijing Olympics. Beijing is one of the most polluted cities in the world, one of the worst smog situations. They made it rain the week before the Olympics, and it rained. They talked about how, and the Chinese bragged about it. You can look this up. Put LA Times, China makes rain, Olympics. Look it up. This is an LA Times article. It's called weather modification. So if what I hate is the people that fucking think that all the people that are into chemtrails are fucking wackos, when there's blatant, documented fucking information saying that yes, planes go up. There's companies called Weather Modification Incorporated. All their clients are state governments who fucking want to put fucking rain and snowpack. California has a big cloud seeding program since 2009. This is all out there, so don't tell me that planes aren't fucking spraying shit in the sky. They are, and maybe it's for some mundane, innocent reason like creating clouds and making rain. Okay, that's not that sinister, but don't tell me that I'm fucking hallucinating. But the truth is that they're doing more than just that. You have the genetically modified foods putting fucking these patents out saying farmers cannot fucking farm with anything but these Monsanto seeds that are patented to resist all the shit that rains down from the fucking chemtrails. So what I hate about chemtrails, the chemtrail situation, is people that fucking look at me and roll their eyes. You know, like I know that you're into Nibiru because of the 10th planet, but it's like we're not talking about Nibiru here. We're talking about blatant fucking documented shit that's happening in front of your eyes. And don't tell me it's not okay. I'm the biggest fan of Joe Rogan. That's why I'm very excited to be on the show, because I got to know you through Joe. I think Joe is, dude, what he's doing with his podcast and with his act, and the fact that he talks about everything from MMA, which I think is the coolest sport in the world right now, to spirituality, to psychedelic stuff. He has people like Graham Hancock on the show and talks about ancient wisdom and enlightened. He's the most enlightened motherfucker on the planet. But he said this thing about chemtrails. And this is what they do. He asked one guy, a pilot, and of course the pilots see contrails forming behind their plane all the time. So a lot of pilots don't fucking really look into this much. They're like, nah, that's the fucking exhaust for my fucking plane. And Joe said that he has a pilot friend who told him it's regular contrails and on a show, and he didn't look any further. Dude, as one of Joe's, like you had your Paul Stanley story?
Yeah.
The way you feel about Paul Stanley, I feel about Joe.
Yeah.
Okay? So I wish Joe would look into things like companies that you can look up called Weather Modification Incorporated and realize that, yes, there are planes. Dude, I went to Toronto a couple weeks ago. And bro, I've been getting on my page, Facebook.com/chemtrails awareness. I get pictures from all over the world. And I got pictures from Toronto. I ended up going to Toronto. Look at these fucking lines. Dude, I saw it before my fucking eyes. And I had a friend of mine who's like a skeptic, and we were smoking pot all day outside. 2 or 3 hours outside, I was able to show him the same fucking plane. And he saw how a clear blue sky. Do they get this on the thing?
Can you see that?
No. Okay, back it up just a little bit. Perfect.
So this is a clear blue sky without any clouds, and then a plane makes that streak, and the streak next to it, and the streak next to that.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, and then after 3 hours of that, there's a milky fucking cloud cover. Now the next day what happens? It fucking rains, and the Toronto people, they're like, yeah, this happens all the fucking time. And I'm like, yeah, because I get pictures. It's crazy to see people from all over the fucking Europe, all over the Americas, in fucking places that have completely different fucking climates, sending me pictures with the skies. And it's getting so crazy. Have you guys been watching TV? When you were a kid, when they would take a shot of a fucking exterior shot and there was a sky in the fucking background, it was either clear blue or fucking regular clouds. I was watching Breaking Bad the other day. Fucking they have a shot in the desert, chemtrail, fucking streak that you'd never fucking see in the 70s or 80s, only rarely. You're fucking watching, I'm watching Celebrity Apprentice. They're outside fucking in New York. Chemtrail, streaks, that fucking V's, X's that you would never fucking see. You know, and if you're gonna tell me that they're fucking normal and that planes fucking make them normally, look, there was plane traffic back in the 70s or 80s. These things are fucking being left, and they're affecting your atmosphere because the fucking powers that be are making a decision to fuck with our climate, to put a fucking band-aid on the situation, and they don't want to tell us, but they're telling us slowly. Like, you can look a lot of this up, they're telling us slowly, because what's gonna happen is when it all comes out, they're gonna be like, no, but we told you. There's a cloud seeding program from California. We want fucking snowpack. There's a Geo-Engineering fucking company that fucking is putting stuff up there to block out the sun. Scientists, Nobel Prize winners are proposing these fucking plans. Harvard fucking people. This is all out there. So it wasn't a conspiracy theory because we're not trying to control your minds or depopulate you. But it is because you were fucking denying the chemtrails up until, and I don't understand the fucking people that just walk. I mean, here in LA is blatant, dog.
Yeah.
It's in California, they fucking have it up and down the state. I mean, we've been in a drought for the past 15, 20 fucking years. So fucking how do people, when it gets nasty and you're fucking seeing, look, I mean, my fucking, dude, people at my fucking job, they fucking roll their eyes when I bring this up. Like, I had to sneak it on with you. When you were on my show, it was about, hey, I'm having a jiu-jitsu master who has a fucking album out about jiu-jitsu. I think he'd make a great story. He's very influential. And then at the last fucking second, I fucking said, hey, here's a clip of this documentary, which I got the rights from Michael Murphy, and I basically forced my editor to be like, I have to use that segment. So they threw that on there. But it's like, they were like, what the fuck are you, why are you even fucking talking about that? You seem crazy. It's like, dog, come on. I see this with my eyes. But the thing is, you see that you cloud seed people's minds. And now skeptics, I already have like a handful of skeptics who are, because I've talked about it, they start to notice when there's a streak in the sky. And they kind of look back up 20 minutes later, and they notice that it's spread out, and there's another streak in the sky. And they start fucking doing the fucking math. And the best part is when a couple of these skeptic friends of mine finally fucking call me, they're like, God damn it, this is the one thing, I think you're right. Because it's happening in front of my eyes.
And they've already done it for decades.
Yeah. But they're doing it more now. The past 3 years is everyone's doing it now.
They've been doing it, so they've been doing it.
Right.
They got busted doing it.
Right.
The government's, there's 230 cities where they got busted. They've done it. They're criminals. They had to put a stop to it. It was a problem in '77. Mm-hmm. That UN treaty where
there's a UN treaty against.
Yeah. They've done it. They've been doing it, and now they're fucking doing it again. But people are like, nah, it's just planes. You're buying airport, bro.
Yeah, you're
buying airport, and it's insane.
And then you see the angles that these guys are coming from, and they're all like up and down, and depending on in Toronto, I saw these. Okay, like here you see a lot of X's and V's. When I would get pictures from Toronto where they would do all these squiggly lines and do these little fucking circles. I'm like, God, when I went to Toronto, I fucking saw it. I saw it fucking upside, and then I didn't get the picture of that one, but I think I did. I got the fucking straight lines afterwards, but it's like depending on the climate, they do a certain pattern. The pattern to dry. So here, maybe the fucking straight lines work a little better, but in fucking a place that's a little bit more humid, maybe they're doing maybe the circly lines and doing different. It's fucking crazy. And then, okay, now you want to talk, now that we got it out of the way that they're fucking doing something up there. And they're slowly admitting it here and there. And it's kind of like, this is how they fucking, I mean, this is the way the powers that be work. They kind of tell you. It's kind of like with the Federal Reserve. They kind of tell you the truth, but in a very like, look at my right hand, no, look at my left hand. Like,
we told you. When it all comes down, it's like, we told you.
We told you. And they just don't want you to connect the dots. They'll show you the fucking dots. What they'll keep on interfering is fucking not allowing you to connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, yeah, we see clouds. What if we see clouds? You put some silver iodide, you create rain. It's we've done it. But that every time I see a plane fucking doing it, they don't want you to know they're doing it that much. Because if people realize how much, dude, they're taking fucking samples of the fucking soil now. And it's fucking night and day from the soil fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what Kristen Megan was saying. Yeah.
And the military's involved, but listen, our government is run by the fucking people at the top of the pyramid, and those are the fucking banks and all that shit. And You know, it's like when you start connecting all these fucking things, it's like, look, man, this is where like, you know, where the powers that be are panicking right now, because you talk about, like, a lot of people fucking think, you know, this is a lot of people ask these stupid questions, like, kind of like with God. Well, why doesn't God just snap his fingers and like fucking, you can't, you know, like, why don't if the powers that be are really in control, why don't they just do this? Nah, man, the powers that be kind of like control the referees, and they'll fucking tell the referees, like, you know, to extend the NBA series, make a couple of bad calls to influence the game. But if the fucking Heat, I'm from Miami, so I have a bias, if the Heat are still good enough to fucking thrash the Spurs despite a couple of fucking referees in on it, they'll fucking overcome the system. So they know that the people have power when they're informed. But when they keep us confused, they're influencing the fucking game. They can't come right out and say, we're your fucking masters and you're slaves. They do that, there'll be revolution. But they don't do it that way. They keep us kind of fucking guessing. They're like, no, this is not a conspiracy. Oh, yeah, kind of is. Oh, the conspiracy people are crazy. Oh, no, well, we told you this already. Oh, no, well, that guy's fucking nuts. He's fucking hallucinating. No, that was actually real. Salt is good for you. Salt is bad. They're keeping our heads spinning, bro. All right, you know, and that's the whole fucking game. Right, left, no, fucking A, dude, a Republican is gonna fucking look out. No, a Democrat is fucking looking up, and we're going back and forth and shit, you know.
When we see shows on the National Geographic Channel, you know, if you pay attention to that, any conspiracy theory documentary that they show, it's all CIA based. It's all total bullshit. Like, they'll suck you in. They go, 9/11, was the government in on it? And everyone's like, oh shit, this is a conspiracy. And then they get you, and it's totally biased against conspiracy theories. Like
it's great, because that's here's the thing. Here's where they're at, so that people understand, well, why don't they just completely deny it? If they were to completely deny everything, then you'd be suspicious. So what's the best thing? They entertain it. Oh, okay, yeah, people fucking think that 9/11 was just, they're just, well, let's entertain it. Yeah, some fucking kind of crazy things happen, coincidences. Yeah, it's a little suspicious. Let's all ask the questions. Let's all question. But no, it wasn't a conspiracy.
Yeah,
the conspiracy people are crazy, and that's the little game they fucking play. At the same time, sometimes, and I love Alex Jones, but sometimes he gets a little so amped up that it's like, man, if he would just fucking chill out a little bit and kind of take the middle road a little bit. That's why with the chemtrails, I don't want to go out fucking telling people it's depopulation, it's some fucking crazy ass fucking Illuminati. No, man. It's motherfucking scientists and fucking rich guys fucking thinking that this is gonna fucking help their bottom line, and they've convinced themselves it's not gonna fucking harm us. They did the test for 2 months, all right, and it didn't affect the fucking rats. What they don't know is the 3rd month the rat fucking grew a tumor after fucking they were exposed to this shit. So they go by the 2-month study, and they're like, everything's good to go. And here's the thing, you know, people this is the other big question, and some smart people ask this question, well, if they're getting sprayed upon too, well, you know what, rich people in control have access to cleanses, vitamins, medical fucking treatment, fucking good organic food, so they can their immune system might be able to fucking deal with fucking a little bit of extra pollution in the fucking air. But fucking poor people, look at them, they're sicker than ever. So when they say, yeah, they're spraying us too, yeah, bro, why do you think fucking now everybody's doing a fucking cleanse, a fucking this, that, and the other, you know, to fucking deal with all the crap in the air? And if you're rich and you can afford that shit, you'll fucking deal.
I bet the people at the top know where to live.
They know where to live, they know what to take.
It's not like an American thing. It's like the pilots don't even know what they're doing. The pilots are just doing what they're told.
Well, they're putting shit in the tanks, and they don't even know.
They don't even know what it is. It's so compartmentalized, they don't know what's going on. Pilots don't know what's going on. They think they're running tests, and they're just running exercises, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
But here and there, you know what's cool is a lot of like local like stations have been doing the story, because local, you know what's crazy, dude, it's that go to my page and look at who fucking likes the page. For every one guy or one girl that looks a little out there, there's fucking 10 fucking regular looking folks, fucking just concerned, fucking, bro, regular fucking working guys, working women from across the world, old people who just fucking know that that's not what they fucking grew up with in the sky, and that looks fucking odd, and they can tell, you know.
The thing that trips me out is people that have strict diets, paleo this, Mike Dolce that,
right,
strict diets and what they drink, and the no gluten and all this shit, but they are so not concerned about the water and the air that they breathe. They're so not concerned with it.
It's crazy, man.
Because I think even I was in Big Bear last winter. Me and my wife went up there, and did some snowboarding, and up in Big Bear, but where Arrowhead, when you get Arrowhead water,
Right.
that's up in that area.
Yeah.
Dude, they're spraying chemtrails
Oh,
up there.
totally.
Up there. So when
Well,
you're getting
because
that bottled
yeah.
water,
Yeah.
they're spraying you. The joke is, oh, you think you're not drinking tap water,
Right.
You're drinking bottled water,
Yeah.
But man, I know for sure tap water.
Everything's
I know tap water's fucked.
The whole
but
world's
shit.
contaminated.
Yeah.
Well, here's the sinister. Now, okay. Now that we've settled that, okay, well, it's definitely at least weather modification, geoengineering. Look up now. Do the powers that be have a vested interest in keeping us a little more docile?
Absolutely.
Like I mean, is that why they keep us entangled in ourselves? Always fucking going from fucking left to right, jumping on fucking shit, not fucking knowing to go, up, down, what have you. Like, so if they're putting shit that ends up in our fucking water, might there be an interest that, supposedly they put fluoride in our tap water for our teeth, but the truth is fluoride also makes you very docile. And do you want? There's a lot of people in the fucking world. Can you imagine if everybody really gave a fuck and was as energetic as like let's say you and me. There was a lot of you and me's in the world. We'd be fucking. They'd be like, holy shit, they need fucking people to not give a fuck. You know, and so maybe they gotta push shit in the water to make that happen.
Yeah, because it's amazing how it's just like I bring this up over and over, but the 3 or 4 angles of Tower 7 being controlled demo,
totally.
2,000 engineers and architects have signed off,
Right.
and said they looked at the video and said, "Oh, that's a controlled
You
demo."
can see.
I mean, but NIST, the government agent will say,
Right.
agency will say, "Oh, well, we've done the test. Fires brought it down." And
Right,
and that's an example of how retarded people are. That's total retardation.
Well, and the other thing is this. Listen, because I voted for Obama twice, and I knew what I was gonna get. I knew I was gonna be a politician. I was gonna get change. It was more of a point. Listen, I wanted. It's the president's a figurehead to a certain degree, and they're like a guy that got in the system, and he tries to fucking get. He tries to throw the dog a bone as best he can, but he answers to other people. Well, people that it's not who the president is. The president is. There's a lot of fucking black operations, and you can look this up. A lot of fucking spending that goes off the books. That they did. They had a hearing in 2002, 2003 with Rumsfeld, where like $2.3 trillion for the Pentagon.
Well, they announced that the day before 9/11.
The day before, there you go. So where does that go? The president doesn't find out. Do you think that something as big and powerful and complex as a nation like the United States would just hand over the reins to its government every 4 to 8 years to some fucking random guy elected by the people? Now, most of the time, that random guy elected by the people is from the system already. But even if he is or he's not, do you think that the reins are just handed over here, the keys, you get complete? No, dog. So it's not even like about Obama, Bush being. It has nothing to do with the dude. These are the people that are at the top of the fucking pyramid, dude. And some of them, honestly, think that they're doing us good. Not every one of them is fucking some sinister evil bastard. There's people, there's Rockefellers who want fucking us informed, and then there's Rockefellers who want to oppress us. They're almost like within the same house, they're going at it. But man, if we're informed, at least we can fucking hold people to task. So when you go to like Chemtrails Awareness, the page, and you see just regular people posting, I'm seeing this shit. This is my town. It's like your town. What the fuck, I live in Norway. You live in fucking Texas. Our fucking skies have the fucking streaks. What's going on? The more that we're aware, the more that you plant it in other people's minds that are skeptics, but they start to notice the next time they see the streak, they fucking look up a little longer. They look up a little bit more often. And it's just one thing. It's not like I'm not obsessed with just chemtrails. There's obviously a bigger picture, but this is the one fucking thing that we can grab a hold of because they're doing it in front of our face, and it shows how stupid they think we are. And it shows how stupid we can be because it's fucking happening.
If they decided which would be a good idea, let's just say we all decided we're going to revolt in a big revolution. One of the smartest things to do for them is just the shit that we're doing with the geoengineering. Right. Just put some fucking pathogens and some bacteria. Let's kill off a lot of motherfuckers. That's the easiest. Yeah. That would be the easiest thing to do. Like instead of going door to door and like arresting people like in Nazi Germany. The smartest thing would be the shit you've been doing for the last few years. Just go up and down and just put some different shit. Replace the aluminum and the barium with some crazy disease, and then That would be so easy. Just spray us like roaches. That would be the easiest way. And you know what? If they did that, which would be smart, if there was a revolution, if they did that, nobody would figure out how everyone was dying. Everybody would have these different theories. They would go, "Oh no, it can't be that.
Right.
That's just that's planes.
Well, that
That's
option's not. And the thing is that when you realize that they are doing things as simple as geoengineering, and maybe that doesn't sound as sinister, the option to do that is on the table.
Yeah, it's right there. They could
It's
do
right
that.
fucking
If
there.
they could fuck with the weather with this shit, they could put anything in there. At any time. A smart thing to do would be, like, for a dictator or someone who didn't give a shit, would be to just spray shit and not even have some kind of, like, fuck the ozone layer, fuck global warming.
Right.
Let's just get them used to them lines. This would be a smart thing to do for a dictator. Get
Right.
them used to those lines every day. Just spray them,
Right.
and they get used to it. So when we have to gas them,
Right.
they'll never see it coming, and
They'll
they'll
never see it
never
coming.
know what's going on.
That's
That would be the smart thing to do for a sinister dictator. So that's the possibilities right there. So I'm watching this National Geographic documentary, and for those of you that don't believe that the powers that be produce television, they don't produce all television, not even most of it, but every now and then they need to get an agenda across. They will produce some shit, and they do it on National Geographic. That's where they do it. It's so obvious. And they did this one on chemtrails.
Right. I saw that.
And the whole thing, no, it wasn't even, I'm not even, the chemtrail one was ridiculous. They had a show on, it was a science show on National Geographic. Like, how do we combat global warming?
Right.
So it was all about these scientists. What would you do with an unlimited budget to combat global warming?
And they proposed it.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, this is what we could do. They had all these computer-generated cartoons, like if they had all the money. And what we need to do is we need to somehow suspend metallic particles in the atmosphere.
Right.
Somehow, some like aluminum or something like that. We need to suspend it in the atmosphere so it reflects the radiation back, and then it cools the planet, and then And then they go, how could we do this? On the show, how could we do this?
Right.
Maybe the best way would be to get 10,000 giant ships in the ocean to suck in the water. They got these machines, these giant boats to suck in water from the ocean, shoot up this water with mist, mist with these metallic particles in the atmosphere, and all these boats lined up in the ocean. That's what they kind of came up with. Like, why not just do what you're already doing with these military jets?
Because
why did they even bring that up? They didn't even bring it up.
Well, they actually want to do the thing with the ship because it's more powerful, but it's just a slight veer so that here's the thing.
All that was is to get us to think that this is going to be
It'd be a
okay
good
when it
thing.
finally comes out. Remember, we kept telling you that we figured out to do it with planes after all. Why don't we think planes? But while we made the show, all we could think of was these fucking boats out in the ocean.
Well, there's advocates. Here's the crazy thing, and this is all happening this year. These are, it's been the past couple years, but this year, editorials have been popping up in major publications with advocates. Straight up advocates fucking pump shit in the atmosphere, and they're all representatives. They're all fucking spokespeople and lobbyists for the power companies. Now the power companies want to spray shit up there because they want to create rain, to create more snowpack, more water, and they can fucking run the power. The fucking one of the main people behind cloud seeding in California is who's what's the power company here, Edison?
Yeah.
They're fucking behind it. They're fucking all for it, and they have spokespeople fucking writing editorials. And local fucking newspapers for all this shit saying, no, this is the answer to fucking global warming. We got it. And it's pretty crazy, man. But, if people are informed and they can call it out, at least they can be straightforward with this.
No one cares about the air. It's like, food, yes.
Right.
Food, yes. Exercise, yes.
Right.
But what about your fucking air? Okay, you don't care about air. What about your kids' fucking air?
Right.
This is what your kids are breathing. They're doing some shit right above you. They're spraying metallic particles. They could, who knows what could, you can get cancer, whatever. Who knows? What is the possibility?
Well, a lot more people are getting cancer than ever.
Yeah.
It's not from the pot.
That's for damn sure. Hey, listen, man. We went 3 goddamn
Holy
hours.
shit.
We got to wrap this bitch up. Humberto, we will have you back.
Man, thanks for having me, man.
Back,
Hey, catch me if you're in LA, June 21st, M Bar in Hollywood.
And what is your
10 o'clock.
What is your Facebook chemtrail?
It's facebook.com/chemtrail awareness, and you can also follow me at Humberto Guida on Twitter.
Beautiful, man. And anything else? Alder Handful? Anything else?
Good, baby.
We good. Zach?
ZachWalbin.com, Icehouse, Pasadena, Thursday night, June 20th.
At Rabu Dhabi, your Twitter. At Rabu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Producer and mastering.
JJ.com/techniques.
Nice.
They were wondering when you were going to talk. See, he talked.
Hey,
They
he's
say
been here all this
looks
time.
like Adam Carolla.
He's my Tom
Without
Chiasana.
hair.
So we're going to end with, let's see, what song should I play? We're going to end with, bum, 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 bum. I'm going to pick a song in just 3 seconds. God damn it. What you, oh, shit. Oh.
Well, so that's not the
Here we
regular
go.
cigarette
Here we
stuff.
go. Here we go, guys. Good night. We'll see you next week. We got a alien expert. He was on Sirius coming up next week.